Congrats on the Ed Block Courage Award.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
What did it mean to get that one?
Yeah, it means a lot. It's a pretty prestigious award, and for my peers to vote for me to win the Ed Block Courage Award, I mean, it means a lot coming from them.
We all know that you played through a ton of stuff in your time here.
Yeah.
Was that the genesis? Was there something else that they said when they?
No, I think it was accumulation of things. Like you said, some of the injuries I played through. I guess my leadership style and how I approach each and every day. Yeah.
Well, you guys played out there a couple of years ago. Do you notice altitude at all when you played there?
Here and there. I mean, you can kind of get like a little shortness of breath. Sometimes throughout the game, long drives and little things like that. So, as a defense, we got to do a good job with making sure those drives aren't long and we get off the field as many 3-and-outs as we can.
Leonard too has talked about how he's going to glean on you throughout the season. Just what's that relationship like between the two of you?
Yeah, it's like I'm an open book. So, if Laiatu needs help with anything, he can always come to me, ask me for advice on certain things, on and off the field. He lives about 9 minutes from me, so I always tell him, he can always come over to the house and whenever he needs anything or stuff like that. So it's been great, you know what I mean? And for a kid like him, being so young, being receptive to to knowledge, being a sponge and soaking up any type of knowledge that he can, it's been great to work with him.
Well, what's that balance like? You were a high draft pick, a defensive guy, drafted to make an impact right away. So seeing him go through the stuff that you went through, what is that like to kind of find that balance between, okay, I got to go do some things, but also like give you some bit of grace?
Yeah, just a reminder. I always remind him all the time, like it's going to take time because I've been in his shoes. And like you said, being a high draft pick, being drafted to make an immediate impact, that's a lot of pressure, on a young kid and coming into the league and trying to find himself and how he measures up to the competition at this level. But he's been coming along, and I always remind him too. Like I told him early on in the season, like, hey, sometimes they might not come immediately. All of my sacks my rookie year came in the second half of the season, and I told him, like, the more reps that I got, the slower the game, became for me, and it started to slow down, and I was able to see more and, really play my game. So I feel like he's been really coming along over the, past month. And, there's sometimes, they might not be racking up the, on the stat sheet, but he's consistently back there. So it's been fun to watch.
What's made Denver's offensive line so good at protecting the passer?
Yeah, they do a lot of great things, really protection-wise as well, mixing up some of the protections, moving the pocket for Bo. And he's been doing a really good job with evading the rush in the pocket. We actually just got done watching a whole scramble tape, and he's been impressive this year, being able to get out of trouble and extend plays.
How much has he changed from what you guys saw from him in the preseason? Because he played quite a bit, I think.
Yeah.
What you saw in the preseason to how he's developed through the year, how much has he changed?
Just confidence, his confidence in his arm and being able to, squeeze the ball in tight places, and his accuracy.
Is there any usefulness from that tape? I mean, you weren't out there, but just because you see him going against your scheme, can you use that at all?
Yeah, a little bit, and just the matchups up front. You know what I'm saying? They have the same line that they had in the preseason. So seeing, I know it's good for a lot of the guys in the room to see their rushes against the guys and how they played against those guys in the matchup. So, and how to really attack it. Some of the things that hurt them throughout that game.
Is it fairly rare that you face a team in the preseason you're going to see again in the regular season?
I feel like it is, yeah. Usually you don't really play the same team from the preseason, so it's just a pretty unique matchup.
You always do such a good job of recognizing formations and like what they're going to run. What does Sean Payton do that makes it difficult? His offenses? Yeah,
especially in the past. Playing. When I played the Saints in the past, I remember when I was with the Niners when we played the Saints. He just did a good job with personnel, especially when he had Taysom Hill. You know what I mean? Just personnel, changing up it's a whole completely different offense. When he was in the game, and little things like that, and he can still see some of the different personnel that they do throughout a game. And like I said, like they do a really good job with changing protections in certain formations and little things like that. So it's gonna be a fun game.
Do you pay attention to what other interior D linemen around the league are have you noticed what like Zach Allen's been doing this year for Denver?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've you know, over the past couple of years, you know, been seeing some of the stuff that he's been doing. I mean, he's been playing really well at a really high level, and which is great for them and their defense. You know, yeah, I usually keep up with some of the guys, you know, interior-wise around the league, just to see, you know, what's been working for them, and you know, just, you know, can I utilize it in my game?
I was listening to you say to football during a bye week, and I'd still kind of take all the benefits away from that time off.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you need, obviously in the bye week, you got to unplug a little bit and get away from football. And my wife was laughing at me because she was like, "You can't stay away from football that long," because we ended up at the Duck game, and you know, being watching the Ducks in the Big Ten championship, which is a great opportunity. But also, yeah, I mean, even on Sunday, I mean, I was tuning in, you know, all Sunday watching the games and everything, and she was just telling me, you know, like eventually one day when you get done, it's going to be really hard for you. I was like, yeah, it is. So.
Are you going to put Matt Conti in the Duck
Making
costume?
cut this.
No, you know what? It was it turned out being a great game, so I spared Conti.
Such huge
Let's go last one.
game this weekend. What do you say to the younger guys on this squad? Just how they go approach this one?
Yeah, so really not just the young guys, it's everybody. You know, we're like I've been saying it all week. You know, people say we're fighting to get in the playoffs, but we're already in it. You know, this is a playoff game, and from here on out, that's what they are. You know, to get to where we want to be, we got to approach each and every game like it's a playoff game, and it is. You know, it's win or go home essentially, and we can't hope and pray on somebody else. You know, for our fortune, we got to make our own fortune. So it starts on Sunday.